Hello my beautiful friend and welcome back to another video. So last week we talked about the mod situation in Final Fantasy XIV and now we have a little update for that one. I'm a little bit late for that, but I'd rather talk about it again, especially if there are some very important news. And also thank you for everyone who gave me more information in the comment section. It really helped me out because there was some things like the people who used the mod talked openly about it, which is a no-go, which is something that I mentioned with an old mod back in the day as Realm Reborn just started with the damage mods where you basically can use them, just do not talk about them and don't shit on other people if their damage is not up to par. But now we get a little bit of a clarification. I've read the beginning of this and it was just like, okay, you know what, this is really good news. Really good to make a video about it. Let's just say it like that. Oh, and also, by the way, finally, after many a month, my fat cat lumbar pillow arrived. I was waiting so long for that one. But yeah, regarding mod usage and culture, Final Fantasy XIV Online, we request the cooperation of media outlets and those intending to repost this comment elsewhere, like I do right now. Please do not summarize or provide only excerpts. This is why we're gonna do everything. We respectfully ask that you link readers to this comment instead. And again, as always, with every video I do, everything I show will be linked in the description box as well. Hello everyone, producer and director Naoki Yoshida here. Damn, I'm still out. So if I'm fumbling a little bit today, I'm sorry. I completely forgot. I was in the hospital. It still hurts. I'm under pain medication as well right now, so again, I'm sorry if I'm fumbling a little bit, but I'm not at a 100% right now. I'd like to address the recent feedback and discussion among the community regarding in-game mods. This post is not meant to target any one mod specifically, but I'd like to touch on the general subject of mods, their use, and the culture surrounding them. I thank you in advance for your understanding. Firstly, while I am in charge of Final Fantasy XIV, I'm also a PC gamer and have been for many years. I've spoken about this multiple times in the past, but my own personal stance oh damn, sorry, regarding mods that I do tolerate them has not changed, which is wild to me. I'm following a lot of news about Final Fantasy XIV, but that's probably an age thing for me right now, but I forgot that he has ever told us that he tolerates them, or I just missed it. It's one of the two, because apparently that is well known. In the past 20 or so years, I've seen numerous positive examples of games with fan-made mods that expand upon existing gameplay. However, these mods are generally created with a vital premise in mind. They are for personal use only, and the individual player is responsible for the mods they use. Furthermore, the mods must not impact the core game, its service, or the intended game design in a negative manner. I personally feel that these rules should be followed by all mod creators and users, to which I completely agree. That being said, if players continue to uphold the above premise of mods enhancing one's personal enjoyment of the game and acknowledge that they are taking responsibility for what they download, I personally see no reason to track down or investigate gamers for the general use of mods. That is wild. I love that. And I totally stand behind that. Again, I have no interest in mods, it's just too much work for me. But for everyone who likes to mod, I understand as well. Of course, from my position leading Final Fantasy XIV, I still feel that it is vital for players to follow our user agreement and other rules. Additionally, I like to stress the importance that players follow the rules, that their style of gameplay does not infringe upon others, and they do not negatively impact the core game, its service, or intended game design as mentioned above. Yes, it is my sincerest hope that everyone can continue playing Final Fantasy XIV as well other PC games in ways that they are enjoyable to them. I completely agree with Yoshi-P here. Below, I'd like to elaborate on what infringing upon others and negatively impacting the intended game design entail. These are merely examples, so I don't mind if you skip over them. Please keep in mind that these theoretical examples do not single out any particular mod. So like Mare. Furthermore, this is not a criticism of those who create or use mods. The following is meant to deepen everyone's understanding of our stance on this matter. Of course, we're going to go over everything here. Altering item and character appearance. In Final Fantasy XIV, we have several extremely high-end duties that challenge players to their limit, known as ultimate raids. To defeat the enemies within these raids, players must dedicate a significant amount of time and effort. As their reward for clearing, they earn the title of Legend, as well as a job-specific weapon with specialized visual effects. Let's say player A loves ultimate raids and is motivated to challenge them at every opportunity. After they clear, they proudly equip their new title and weapon as proof of their party's diligent efforts to earn them. Totally fair. I stand behind that. I would love to make an ultimate raid, but damn, I have no time anymore. And also, I haven't played Dawn Trail. I saw the reviews and everything, and I just said nope. Maybe after Dawn Trail, I will go back in. Meanwhile, we have player B, who makes use of a specific mod. This mod allows them to bypass the conditions for obtaining in-game items, making it possible for them to equip any item in the game, including items that must be purchased with real money, so the Morgue Station. Player B is busy with work, and although they have the motivation, their circumstances prevent them from progressing through any of the ultimate raids. They decide instead to install a mod, so they can at least see what it looks like to have their own character equipped with one of the ultimate raid weapons. So, now it gets spicy. Player B uses said mods to equip a set of items, which only display on their client screen. To other players, Player B's model is only wearing default gear, but on Player B's monitor, they are equipped with a dazzling ultimate weapon. They take a screenshot of their character and decide to use it as their desktop background. In this case, player A has followed the rules of the game and worked hard with their party to clear the ultimate raid, earning themselves a weapon and a title as evidence of their feat. When other players come across player A using their title and ultimate weapon, they see a legend who has overcome one of the game's most punishing duties. On the other hand, should they encounter player B, they would simply see a pleb. So sorry. That's my own fault. See a character with their default gear. Let's imagine a scenario in which player A and B cross paths in game. On player B's screen, player A appears with the brand new title and ultimate weapon, the same weapon that they appear themselves as having equipped. Conversely, on player A's screen, player A appears with their title and hard-won weapon, while player B appears in their default gear. So this is just everything from multiple perspectives. Okay, I see why he said that we can basically skip most of it. In other words, player A sees the rewards each player has earned fairly within the context of the game's rules. Player B sees a modified version of the game, but these changes are visible only to player B themselves, and thus fall within the realm of individual enjoyment. Please note that this is not intended as judgment on the virtue of one approach versus the other. I really like that, because there are many people around that just do not have the time or the group to play with. because even with Party Finder and so on, it can be really difficult if there are a couple of people in there that do not know what to do, that do not have the gear, or do not know how to play their role. There are a lot of people around. But I totally understand why people would mod this. So, similarly, if a player chooses to install a mod, the risk of encountering a computer virus, for example, is spawned by the individual. Additionally, mods that do not adversely affect other players and which ensure visual changes are only visible to the individual user can be said to narrowly maintain the integrity of the game's design. Although, of course, this is open to interpretation. Totally understandable that he phrases it like this. However, if a mod was updated and its changes became visible not just to the individual mod user, but to other players too, what would the implications be? Player A, with their title and gear earned from hours of concerted effort with their friends, and Player B, with their mod-derived gear, are now on a level playing field, so to speak. This development may not concern Player B, but for Player A, it considerably negates the cooperation, time, and effort invested, not to mention the pride they might have felt in their achievement. I am totally on the side of Player A here right now. After all, their rewards are now available to anyone with the mod installed, albeit lacking the corresponding in-game attributes. Yeah, but again, if I spent so much time into it and someone is also like, oh yeah, I clicked a few buttons and now I have it as well. Yeah, there are no in-game attributes, but it feels weird. Again, I'm not into modding, I do not care. Because, again, it's just too much work. I don't want to open up my PC to anything. But that's just me. If I really want to, I could go ultimate raiding, but I would have to leave so much other things on the back burner, like my trading card games, like my tabletop games, and so on. And yeah, this is just the time frame I'm willing to invest into games and my other hobbies. So yeah, when I see someone wielding the title and the weapon, it's just like, dude, that's badass. And I'm happy for that person because the person achieved something there, which I'm not willing to do. So, yeah, that's why I'm at player A's side. In this example, other players have been infringed upon, and the intended design of the game has been negatively impacted. Although player B may have been unaware of the mod's precise functionality, their usage has diminished other players' motivation and circumvented the game's systems. Even if the creator of the mod simply intended for players to readily access and enjoy their favorite gear, they have detrimentally affect both the game and the wider player community. Yes. Oh, and also, if you haven't seen my other video, my friends and I are basically playing this game as a semi-single player co-op game. We are just 3, sometimes we are 4 people, but that's basically it. We don't have more people to play with, and we are not intending to get more people into it. And as of right now, into our group. So that's also one of the reasons with the ultimate raids. But yeah, in response, our only options would be to ask that players cease using the mod, or to request that the mod creator removes the functionality causing the problem. Of course, we could also implement preventative measures in-game, but this would divert programming resources from other areas, potentially damaging the enjoyment of other players in the long run, which it will definitely will. The scenario outlined above is just one example, but I hope it helps clarify the differences between mod usage within the realm of individual enjoyment and mod usage which is damaging to the game itself. Some players might ask, well, what about a mod which only makes changes visible to other users of the same mod? The issue is that any mod which makes changes visible to others requires the manipulation or rewriting of game files, which is fundamentally even more problematic and destructive. Even supposing that this theoretical mod provided generous improvements to the game and was well received by all players, the moment a problematic feature is introduced to said mod, we must insist that player stops using it. So this is also something that some people in the comment section also wrote on the last video where we talked about Mare. That's something I haven't thought about, but with Lalafels and so on, I'm not gonna talk about that one. If you don't know what a Lalafell in Final Fantasy XIV is, it's basically a very short person. And yeah, let's just continue. Where was I? Another example of such a feature, a mod that allows a player to freely equip optional items and display them to others. What does that say to the players who go through the trouble of saving up to purchase these goods from the Final Fantasy XIV online store? Are these players losing out by not using the mod? Which they definitely do. They are losing out not using the mod. But also the Mog Station. Come on, man, it's just too expensive. And the glamour mods should be like the mounts. It should be account-wide. It's like the emotes. Why are they just for a single character? I know you can equip every class basically with one single character, but some people have a second character. I have a second character to play with my friends because we're still leveling through up to the place where we can meet my main character, and then I'm just going to switch to my main character. But yeah, the Mog Station, come on, it's so weird. It's too expensive and things should be account-wide. But yeah, some may say that Square Enix is to blame for trying to make money by demanding that players spend extra on optional items. Yeah, also understandable. We operate our servers and data centers 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, with the hope that our players can enjoy a reliable gaming experience. Currently, global inflation is taking its toll at a rapid pace, driving up server electricity costs, the costs of land, and even the price of servers themselves. We do not want to increase subscription fees for players, which I really like, if it at all possible, but keeping our game running requires sufficient income. If we start creating a deficit, Final Fantasy XIV may no longer able to operate. This is an example of damage dealt to the service we provide. And this is another crux of the problem. Square uses Final Fantasy XIV as a money income place to use the money on other stuff, on other games that fail. If they put the money into Final Fantasy XIV back again, it would be way better. It would be so good. The spaghetti code they have, the friend list, the character creator. There are so many things, and these are just two things on top of my head, that are bad. And I mean, come on, it's been such a long time. Just look at the name of my channel. We don't even have great beards. And why are some things... like, one of my friends made an aura, and she wanted specific horns with a specific face, but that combination was not possible. Come on, why? Why is that a thing? But yeah, Square just put the money back into Final Fantasy XIV. Come on, man. In these cases as well, we ask that players refrain from using such mods or remove the offending function from the mod itself. I personally understand that modding culture is rooted in good intentions, but we are given no choice but to act if mods even incidentally threaten players' motivation or the viability of our services. Okay, we're almost through. Let's consider another theoretical mod, one that displays your character entirely naked. Okay, we're going there. We're going there. I didn't think. Oh god, my brain. Oh, is he going to talk about it? If this presentation is displayed only on the user screen, that might fall in the category of personal use and responsibility. Okay, bear in mind that this is my personal interpretation and not a discussion of whether that behavior is right or wrong. Okay, okay. However, if the user posts a screenshot of their naked character publicly on social media, Final Fantasy XIV may be subject to legal measures by regulators in certain countries. Okay, thank God he phrased it like that. Also, this is very important by regulators in certain countries. The lawmakers, just like in Germany, it's we can't have titty games on Steam, just as an example. This is a good spot to divert the things to. Laws that regulate the content of video games grow stricter by the year. Just look at China. These laws are there to protect minors and for a variety of other reasons, but the fact remains that they are tangible become stricter. We have a duty to provide our services in adherence to the laws of all countries where Final Fantasy XIV is available, and if we are unable to do so, the distribution of our game can be prohibited. Yes, this is another example of damage dealt to our services. Allow me to repeat myself when I say that I do not intend for these examples to be a censure of mod users or creators. I only wish to provide some tangible examples of how using certain mods can damage other players. Final Fantasy XIV and the services we provide regardless of the mod's original intent. As always, we will do our utmost to keep creating a world which all players can enjoy, even though many people unsubscribed from Final Fantasy XIV. Understandable. Even though it may take time to do so, it is my hope to incorporate player feedback and officially fulfill as many functionality requests as possible. So Square should put the money back into Final Fantasy XIV. I'm also considering how to increase the freedom of choice players have in the gear they choose to equip. Look, again, I'm saying it again, put the money back into Final Fantasy XIV. There is so much armor in the game that has been just reused and just recolored. And the only things we can do with the colors when we just want to change the shades of gray, I don't know, the shades of blue or anything. It's just a different section that's being colored in. I just want awesome looking gear in the end. While paying respect to the long-standing tradition of modding PC games, I ask that all players in turn respect our game by enjoying their fun within the confines of some basic rules. I love Yoshi-P, man. With that business aside, I was very pleased to announce the next fan festival yesterday on the 12th anniversary of Final Fantasy XIV. Oh man, we missed fan festival in Frankfurt here in Germany. It's just a couple of kilometers away from me. Oh, we should have gone there. That would have been awesome. This wouldn't have been possible without you, our players. Thank you all so much for your support thus far, and we hope to have the pleasure of your company as we continue along this incredible journey for years to come. And one more thing, for those wondering what comes after the Japan Fan Fest, while I can't give any details just yet, rest assured you won't have to wait long. Final Fantasy XIV producer and director Naoki Yoshida. Oh man, what's wrong with me today? But yeah, that's basically it. The other thing, wait, FanFest is in Japan? Anaheim, Berlin. July 25th, 2022. Oh man, Berlin. Oh, Berlin is a long way. But it's way easier to get there. Guys, maybe I'm going to FanFest 2026. I'm not allowed to laugh. Holy damn. But yeah, there is also another thing. What was it? Tales Under the Golden Sun and the Promise of Tomorrow is something that we kind of have to talk about. But this is something for another video because I'm kind of getting excited for Final Fantasy XIV again. Again, I still have to do Dawn Trail. I haven't done any of the events since last year. And I'm really sad about that. Oh man, he looks cute. It's just one minion? That's it? Man, the events were also better back then. I remember one Christmas event when. Where was it? In Ulda? Was it in Ulda? When you're telling the children Christmas stories? That one was so incredibly cute. And that they are writing the events with the script of were you there last year? And the characters will remember you from last year. And I just love that so much. Oh man, I love Final Fantasy XIV. I really have to go back into it. But man, I need more time. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the mod situation? I must say I really like the article. Again, I'm going to link it in the description box down below because that's I just want to support this man. Again, I love Final Fantasy. I like what Naoki Yoshida is doing. Man, this is why I'm just calling him Yoshi-P like everyone else. Um, or maybe it's just everything that happened since yesterday with the hospital and stuff. Um, but yeah. Um, oh man, maybe I should go back into Final Fantasy 14. What do you think? Dawn Trail, is it worth it? I don't know. Maybe I have to talk to my friends again because they were also like, you know what? I'm not going back into the game as of yet. Uh, I'm going to talk to them. But yeah, leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below. I'm keen to know what you have to say. And while you're here, please remember to do all the things that make the dings. Why? Because that way we can talk more video game news every day. And by that I of course mean like and subscribe, and if you want you can share this video with your friends. Otherwise, have a great day my friend, stay fantastic, stay hydrated, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, bye, bye.